Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Endeavours. It's the 21st of January on Wednesday. As always, if you'd like to jump ahead straight to one of the Endeavours that you're looking for in this list, just check the timestamps below. Just be aware I will not be talking about this one because I think it's nowhere near as good as the other options. So firstly, there will be a maintenance coming up. By the time this video comes out, the game will be offline, most likely, and it'll be down for some time. The maintenance lasts from 4 PM my time to 4 AM EST for American time, I think, and then 10 AM EST is when it comes back. It could come back before that, so yeah, but it will likely take some time. At 10 AM EST, the White Streaks event will start. I think it's called the White Streaks. There's going to be 2 tickets each day available from the daily quests in Cyrodiil, and then there's going to be 1 ticket available for every day for the Imperial City daily quests. I went through the daily quests for Imperial City a little bit in detail yesterday for the 12-hour option. When I wake up tomorrow, because it's going to be basically late night when the servers come back online. I need to go to sleep tonight early. I've had a long day. But when I get up tomorrow, I will discuss the event. I will go through some easy ways to do it if you don't like PvP to get the tickets, because it is an okay time to be doing PvP, but there are ways to do it without even without even seeing another player. Like it's genuinely, it's quite interesting to look at. So I think it's worth mentioning there, because that's how I like to do it. I'm not a big PvPer. I like Vengeance, but that's kind of it. So if that's your thing, definitely look out for that. But yeah, if you like PvP, I'm not the kind of guy to be watching for that sort of thing, I think. Alright, so let's get to Endeavours. I would choose these 3 options here. This one's pretty shit, and this one here... Okay, so the issue here is, unlike these options here, if you're good at the game, these are easy. However, if you're good at Battlegrounds, it is also impacted heavily by the players that you're going to have on the other team. If they're good at the game, it's not likely that you're... well, it's much less likely that you're going to just reliably get this one done quickly. And that's the thing. Quickly. These ones here, they take a couple of minutes, probably. Especially this one, takes like 10 seconds. This one here, remember, you have to queue for a Battleground, which can take a long time. You can sometimes have queues that last actually 30 minutes to an hour. And then you have to do the Battleground, and if you don't end up doing well and don't get any award medals, you have to do another one, which could mean ages. You can do... Honestly, I could probably do these 3 options on all 3 of my accounts before I can even get 1,000 award medals on one. It's really, really bad for majority of players, and I advise you steer clear of it. And the thing is, if you're capable of doing this reliably, the odds are you can easily do these other options anyway, because at that point, if you're that established in the game, these options here are going to be fucking cakewalks too. So why bother in that case? Just do these options here because they're easier. That's just my personal opinion there. Yeah, obviously if you love Battlegrounds, if you live for that shit, obviously do it, but it is without a doubt going to be the worst option on this list. Okay, starting off with selling to merchants. Remarkably easy. So you just need to find an NPC vendor. It can be anyone aside from guild stores. So one of the closest that I usually go to is just from Vulgarguard's Wayshrine that you start with by default. There is a merchant down here that you can speak to, the grocer. He's right here. It's pretty close to the Wayshrine. There are other ones that are pretty damn close, but this is the one I usually go to if I'm in a hurry. This guy here, just open up this menu, and what you need to do is just sell a bunch of stuff. Now, probably the most common things you can sell that will get this one done quick is soul gems or lockpicks. Soul gems, you basically get this from any large target that you kill, and lockpicks, you tend to rack up these things as you play the game more and more, because you tend to get these things from coffers and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, one of these 2. And the thing is, just get whatever item that you have the most of, sell it, go to buyback here, and buy it back. It doesn't cost you any gold, you don't make any gold, but it's just an easy way to complete this endeavor without costing you anything. So that's the only way I would really suggest doing this. Obviously, you can just hop on a character that has a bunch of junk, just sell it too, but that's just a guaranteed way to do it without costing yourself anything. It's probably not going to be a big deal for majority of people, but if you have a stage 4 vampire who struggles to talk to most NPC vendors, Eshaba here around the Guard's Forge in Vocal Guard, she actually will talk to you even if you're a stage 4 vampire, because she's actually a quest NPC. So if you are struggling to find someone, you can talk to Eshaba without having to use the hypnotize thing. Obviously you can just use that and it's easy, but she's just a guaranteed person you could talk to, so I thought it might be worth mentioning. Okay, next up we'll talk about alchemy. So unlike the enchanting one we saw the other day, alchemy has a slight problem in that it is possible to fail to create a potion. So you need to make sure these things work, just to make sure you don't spend waste resources. Also, I would only advise using poison solvents, not the water solvents. Unless you are max level in alchemy, in that case you're probably not watching this, right? It's probably just like figuring out. So what I suggest you do is just find some poisons first before you start this off. Poisons are easy to get. You can kill just sort of non-humanoid creatures. Things like mud crabs, skeevers, probably dreg, things like that. There's a few mud crabs on the beach in Vocal Guard you can also use. If you really need some stuff though, I'd advise just going into Watery Sewers, killing a bunch of the skeevers, because they will likely give you poison solvents, and you don't have to worry about other people like coming through and killing everything in the area because they're instanced. So that could be another possible option. Now the other thing you're obviously going to need is some reagents. Poison's the easy bit, because you just get whatever. It doesn't matter which one you use. These things though matter. The most important thing to look at is when you put two together, this first word here is everything. When it says inert, don't do it. If it says unknown, like... oh wow, getting really unlucky. Holy shit. There we go. So, unknown. This is the magic word. If it says this, you are good. This just means this combination will work. You just don't know what they're going to produce. So if I just go... I just want to go something that's cheap, because, yeah, Torchfolk's kind of expensive. So if I put these two together, bam, it's going to create a poison suddenly. So as long as that first word says unknown, you are good. Okay, so if you have a alchemy reagent and you want to know what actually does work, so you can just like kind of skip that stuff, or like what you're looking out for if you want to find it in the wild or from guild stores. So check out Dragonthorn here, for example. This website here, UESP, you can type this in on Google, and what you can do is just check this section here. Anything in this list will work together with Dragonthorn to give you a potion or poison that works. So, yeah, in this case, I ended up using Wormwood for weapon critical, so you can use this as an excellent way to figure out that stuff. Water Hyacinth would probably be one of the best to look at, because you can find these on water edges all the time. The only problem is the only other one from that is Known Root, and those two don't work together. But if you end up finding like a Blessed Thistle or a Water Hyacinth, you can do that, because they're usually pretty cheap. So yeah, I will link in the description my favorite personal options to go, because they're usually very cheap options and very plentiful. But also, I'll link this in the description for you to check out as well. Whoops. So this thing here, any of a specific alchemy reagent that can be found in guild stores will be listed here. So say I've got the Dragonthorn, I want to use something with it. So in this case, I can look up Water Hyacinth, and you can go advanced search. Maybe what you can do, let me show you something interesting. Price check. So we'll just accept that. What it does is it lists the average price of the item, so you know what sort of what you want to be spending gold-wise on these things for it to be a decent deal. Because yeah, obviously if you're going to spend 1,000 gold on a Water Hyacinth, it's not going to be a good deal. So in that case, once you've read that, just go back to listings, and in that case, probably go anywhere. It doesn't matter what the amount is, but just go unit price between like 0 and 50, and then go search. And that way, the options that you're getting will not be ridiculously overpriced. You'll only get like the good deals. Now, obviously, you can buy a stack and it's very expensive, but just remember, buying 2 stacks of alchemy reagents and maybe poisons if you need. Poisons are the easy bit though. This will set you up for a long time, basically. This is like, those two will, honestly, it'll set you up for like 20 years if this game lasts that long. So honestly, that is like one of the craziest good investments that you could possibly make. So yeah, if you can do that, absolutely great. Don't know if I said before why we use poisons, but it's because you get 4 at a baseline, whereas for water solvents, for regular potions, you only get 1 at a time. So that's why being high level matters, because you can get a passive that increases the amount you get each time you use one reagent. It's chemistry here, so 1 extra potion, but 4 extra poisons. So it's multiples of 4. So that's why you only use poisons. Even at level 1, you can use the poisons and get this done in one go. So yeah, don't recommend doing anything else other than that. Alright, let's look at Watery Foes. The only thing I really try to use for this is wisps. Do be aware that ice wraiths also work for this. There are a few potential places where you can find them, but wisps are without a doubt the most common creature that works for this endeavor. So I'll go through the various locations that I would use for wisps. Probably the easiest to get to at the start is Crow's Wood. There's about 20 to 25 in Crow's Wood that you can use. For getting into Crow's Wood, the quickest way is using the way shrine in Davon's Watch in the Stonefalls that you start with as soon as you begin the game. So you can jump here when you're ready. That's the good thing about it. So what I do to get there as quick as possible is I come over here, over to the Fighters Guild in Davon's Watch, come this way, and when you jump down here, you basically skip all that, skip all the way down. And so instead of going down the stairs and stuff, you can go down here. Oh wow, I didn't take any fall damage. You will generally take a lot of fall damage there, so just be careful going down the mountain if you don't have any breakfall passive and low health recovery and that sort of thing. So yeah, just open up the chest there like that, the portal will show up. This is Crow's Wood. As soon as you get inside, you just turn left. You'll see some dead trees over here. There'll be a swamp on the map. And this is where the wisps are located. These guys here. These things are Watery Foes. So you can kill a bunch of these things, and that will be what you need for the endeavor. This is usually a pretty trafficked place, or traffic-heavy place for players, for if they want to do the Watery Foes one. So just be aware of that. Usually a lot of this stuff will be dead, but there's a lot of wisps. There's some over there. There's some in the distance there you can see. Some over here. There's also a wisp mother over here, as well as some wisps in the swamp water just over here. Yeah, you can see a wisp mother there. These also work. They do produce a lot of wisps though, which will usually be the main reason you end up completing the endeavor with one of them. They also produce a lot of doppelgangers who, if you kill the wisp mother when there's a lot of doppelgangers up, when they die, I believe it also works, as long as you dealt a little bit of damage to them. So yeah, you can use any of these here and it should be a good option. Alright, so if you're going to use these next group of these Watery Foe options, just be aware that while you're traveling over to these locations, you could potentially find alchemy reagents in the wild. What I'll also do is I'll link in the description all the different alchemy nodes that you can find, just pictures of them, so you know what specific plants you're looking for. So that could also help. But yeah, so you will maybe find one of these on the way. So the next option I want to talk about is this one here at Rewatch Tower in Greenshade. This option has Watery Foes too, and you can get here easily if you've never been before, either using the Boatswain from Oridon, who will take you to Reaper's March, Malabar Tor, and then Greenshade, or you can go Grotwood and Greenshade. Either way, that works. And it'll bring you here, you can just travel this way, or you can use Boulder Tree Refuge over here through Home Tours. I've got a video prep for Home Tours in the description if you want to know how that stuff works. Imagine having a bunch of extra wayshuns you can use for free anytime by just traveling to other players' houses on the menu. Oh, there's fucking wisps over here. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. Oh yeah, there you go. There's an example. So that's a blessed thistle right there. So you can pick that up, and if you find something else that works alongside it, I think Dragonthorn is one of the options there. Water Hyacinth maybe another one. Stinkhorn, that's another alchemy reagent. So you can see what I mean. You can see stuff all over the place. I think. Oh yeah, there was a Dragonthorn there too. So yeah, look at that. You would have been able to do the endeavor just by getting that Dragonthorn and blessed thistle. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that stuff on the way. So just grab this way shrine for access to Rear Watch Tower. You just come down here. This is probably one of the quickest to get to once you've unlocked it. But yeah, you just come down here. There'll be a bunch of wisps all over the place. There'll also be like these little glowing pools, tiny little pools. That one there, as an example. They give you swarming wisps, which are even weaker than the regular wisps. So you can use that to get a bunch of watery foes very quick. So this area is good. I just find it tends to be used the most by other players. And yeah, they just fucking obliterate everything in there. You don't have much time to get hits in, because they die very quick. Option number 3 is the Chill Hollow in Eastmarch. This option has a lot of wisps too. You can get here easily if you use Home Tours again with Grimhearth's Woe. Just from this building here, or from this house, just head east. There is also a Hole of the Dead. You will find ice wraiths in here around the central area once you get in a little bit far into where it gets like snowy and icy. So there's probably 10 in there. I do find this one's very hit and miss though. Basically just like one player comes in and just it'll ruin it for you. So yeah, don't try and rely on this one. My favourite though, personally, is this one over here, Chiselshriek Mine. Okay, so why Chiselshriek Mine exactly? Because you'll come in here and you'll just see iron orcs out the front, but all you got to do is walk a little bit further, and you get to a fucking a blue crystal mine, I suppose, in this case, because there are so many fucking wisps in here. You'll just have an endless supply, basically. There is like just this one pool here. Look how many you get from that, and they are everywhere. Like all through here, you'll see blue crystals all along this area here, and there are wisp mothers, wisps all through here, all around here as well. There's a wisp mother boss over here. This is a sky shard, which you can grab, I suppose. But yeah, this area, this entire section here is just watery foes, basically. So yeah, this is probably the most like populated area for this endeavor, I think. Maybe the last one from Eastmarch, the Chill Hollows, about as good. But this one is usually the one I go, because there's heaps of them in here. Fucking heaps. And getting here is pretty quick as well. So all you need to do is use Home Tours again, find Hackfield's High Hall, so go browse homes and just check it up in this section here. I've got it right here. So just go there, travel west from when you get there, and then get this way shine, and then just travel straight to Chiselshriek Mine. Again, just look out for alchemy reagents there if you need them, or if you want to collect them for another like use later on. But yeah, Chiselshriek Mine. It's also, honestly, one of the least visited areas in the game. Like, the other options generally will have players running around and killing everything, I find, anytime I go there, especially on prime time. But this one here, I find it is just so barren. So they're just, most of the time, all these enemies here are all yours for the taking. Which is very important for endeavors, because you want to be able to do this shit quickly and eat, like, without thinking much. And yeah, just focus on other shit. So there you go. There's 3 endeavors that are easy. So I'm just going to run through very basic stuff about the other option here, which is Infinite Archive. So I think it is worth mentioning that if you do want to do this option, you can do this as a pair. You can bring another player with you if you want, a friend, or, you know, guildmate, whatever you want to do. Or you can bring a companion in here. As far as I'm aware, the scaling isn't impacted by having an extra person, so it's just going to be quicker if you do that. But whether it's worth waiting that time when you can just do this instead, and because it's totally fine to do this on your own, it'll just be a little slower. Whether it's worth waiting that extra time, I don't know. It'll be up to you. But yeah, if you've got a companion, it's pretty convenient to get one of them in. Just go. Usually, I just go a damage one, because in the early stages, you're not really going to be dealing with a lot of crazy shit. It's best to just like kill stuff as quick as you can. So, firstly, this quest here, you will. If like worst case scenario, you will get pretty close to completing the quest here. So if you want to go further and defeat Thoat, that is a potential option. There is quite a few guides out there to dealing with Thoat. It's pretty straightforward though. Basically, just whenever she puts one of the crystal AoEs on the floor, just get out of it, and she'll do that every time she hits you with a light attack. There's also like the stop hitting yourself thing. When she brings up a mirror, just stop attacking. Yeah, I don't really want to do that today because we got a maintenance on. I can't really last be in this game much longer. And I also got to edit everything in as all that. So, but yeah, I'll just show you a couple of things that can really help in this place if you find yourself stuck, because there are some bosses that you'll fight, because to get Archival Fortunes you need to beat the bosses, and some of them can be really fucking obnoxious. Like there's a dragon that does like a drive-by attack. The last time I fought that, it would one-shot me, and there was like very little, it was difficult to react quick enough to it. So yeah, I just skipped that stuff. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just show you quickly. When you get in, if you find yourself you don't want to continue in this version of Infinite Archive, because it will be different every single run, you'll just get completely different stuff, just go to this hourglass here and it resets everything. And I mean everything. It starts you from the beginning, which means you do have to deal with another few stages to get to the first, like, the next boss. But it will be completely reset. The bosses will be easier. It'll be like probably a different one. You might get really unlucky and get the same one a second time later, but it just means that you're not stuck trying to get your Archival Fortunes and basically boned. It just means you waste less time later. Yeah, I think that's enough. So Archival Wings. This is how you enter the Infinite Archive. In here, you'll go through stages and then cycles. So with stages, it's just like a few regular old enemies. You'll always get a ranged one to start with. What I'd advise you do is find the ranged enemy and just sit on them. The melee enemies will follow you around. The ranged ones try to stay away from you, or at least they won't move once they get into the fight. So you might as well stick on the ranged ones, because the melee ones are just going to follow you anyway. So it just means you're stacking everything together. A lot of ground AoEs in this game are really good to use, so yeah, it just makes it more convenient. You'll get stunned, you'll get knocked over. Don't worry, it's completely normal. There'll be a tougher enemy that pops up on the third wave of a stage. It's also completely normal. Sometimes they don't show up, but it's pretty rare for that to happen. As long as you've got a good build. You know, I'm just running Order's Wrath with Mother Sorrow. As long as you've got some regular damage dealer build stuff, it'll be fine. Once you get into the later arcs, it's when shit really hits the fan. But yeah, in the early stages, not too bad. Okay, so next, this is the reward you get for completing a stage. This is a verse. Now, some verses, Flame Aura for example, are really fucking strong. Some of them are absolute fucking garbage. We'll see which ones we get in the next few. But yeah, Flame Aura is arguably one of the best in the game. I wish I got this for the boss, not the next stage. So yeah, the ones that you get before fighting a boss are much more important. Yeah, I'll make use of this one as best I can. This one is incredibly strong. It just adds like a really powerful version of like Rothgar on you, like the monster set. Like, yeah, just look at the damage it's doing to them already. So you can get all sorts of enemies. You may get a Watery Foe or two, maybe. I don't think you get Ice Wraiths in here or Wisps or anything. You might get a Wisp Mother for a boss, but that is maybe it. You might also get a Nereid for a boss, but I don't know if there's any regular enemies that count as a Watery Foe. We might see, but I'm pretty sure you don't. Alright, get some shit options, I think, for the next one. They'd be good in later stages, but you don't really need much survivability in this place. Okay, so anyone familiar with Fungal Grotto 1? This is the first main boss. So, this is pretty easy. So, it'll be... Usually these bosses, it'll be random. You might get a world boss or a boss from a zone story. You might get, one of these dungeon bosses. Trial bosses are a thing as well. The first one on the first cycle will be pretty straightforward usually. But yeah, some of the later ones can be really obnoxious. There are a few ones that you get on the first cycle that can be really painful though. Alright, pretty easy that one. So completing that gets you through a cycle. You'll get this chest here, and this is what you loot to get your Archival Fortunes. So that's 200. So yeah, you need to do that 4 times. Now, you might get lucky. There is... God, what's this guy called? So, firstly, this guy here, Gwa, the Pilferer, is that how you say it? So, if you see this dude when you're fighting one of the cycle bosses, turn your attention from that boss and kill this guy ASAP. He has a channeled attack that he does, where he tries to run away, I'm pretty sure, and you have to interrupt that to stop him. If you kill this guy, he gives you 200 fortunes. That will ramp up as you do higher stages, but you won't get to Arc 4, or sorry, Arc 2 by the time you complete this, so yeah, don't worry about that. But yeah, he'll give you 200, and he'll also give you some other stuff. I'd say the odds of getting one of these in one of your cycles, especially the first one, is quite low. I'd say I get it once every 20 runs, maybe more. So yeah, the odds of you getting that is low, but just keep an eye out for that because it's really valuable. The other thing is the portals to the unknown. So thank you, MMOGO or whatever, but this portal here is what you're looking at. So every time you get one of these portals here, so just I'll get this vision first, and a portal will show up. So visions are just like verses, except they last the whole time and they're usually less good. Emphasis on usually, because some of these are fucking broken. Martial damage, I don't do any. Critical healing done, it's kind of good. So this portal here, sometimes there'll be a portal to the unknown here. It's basically like mini-games. If you finish the minigame successfully, you get 200 fortunes. Though there is a caveat. Every time you complete Infinite Archive, or like do runs, and you complete one of these minigames, the next time you get a minigame on that, I don't know if it's account-wide or character-wide, but you'll get more and more difficult ones. So whether or not you can get those 200 fortunes every single time is just up in the air. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Because yeah, some of them are straightforward. There's one that's just straight up, it's just combat. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But there's other ones that require you to like run away from stuff and like use abilities to keep yourself alive. It's just, yeah, it's hard to say. There's also like a bridge one where you got to be good at puzzle recognition, stuff like that. So yeah. But other than that, that's all the stuff you have to worry about. Just do that. You'll have 4 cycle bosses in a row that you can kill after you complete all the stages in between them, obviously, and that will give you at least all your 800 fortunes that you need. And if you want to go further, obviously you can fight Thoat, because as soon as you get the 4th boss done, it will be another 2 stages, and then you fight Thoat. And yeah, she's not too bad. You might die once or twice, I think. But just pay attention to her mechanics, and I think you'll learn all you need to know. Also, the sword. When she's got the sword, she attacks slower, but they deal more damage. So just make sure you block the sword attacks. And again, just stand out of the crystal AoEs. Alright, so if you just want to leave once you're done, and you don't want to stay here, to get out of here, you need to go to the next stage before it starts, and go to the index here. If you hit this, it will take you back to the entrance. And from here, you can turn around. Here's the portal. This takes you out of Infinite Archive and back to the Overland. There are a few places you can spend Infinite Archive fortunes on, but I don't suggest it because sometimes you can get that endeavor that requires you to spend fortunes. And if you do have the fortunes for it, it can be pretty quick. If you don't, it is one of the worst options in the game for endeavors, as far as I believe, anyway. Okay, I think that's enough information. If you have any questions about any of this stuff here, if you're struggling with a boss, just let me know. Just give me a holler and I'll tell you what I know of them. But most of them are straightforward. Just some can be very weird. Like there's a couple that they kind of punish doing a lot of damage, like the Celestial Warrior, for example. Probably the worst offender for that. So if you get the Celestial Warrior, just try not to deal a lot of damage to him quickly. But most of the other stuff's usually okay. Alright, take care for now, everyone. Thank you for your support as always. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Take care for now.